Spartans! What is your profession?
Run from it. Destiny arrives always late. And now it's here. Or should I say, I am.
Spartans! Prepare for glory!
And as this room fill up, be sure to hit that like button, share this content, let a friend, neighbor know where to go when it's time to tune in to Cowboys Sports Talk and be. Yon. That's including the ice wall, baby. Put a 1 in the chat if the audio is straight. Come on. We got rumor. Pull a string and I wink at you. I'm your puppet. Come on, baby. I'm your puppet, baby. Nobody, baby. Oh, 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 oh. Happy Friday to you, and you.
Are you not entertained?
All I ask is when you lay your head on that pillow, so I gave you everything. Are you shitting me?
What we got? Five, 4, 3, 2.
Stop crying about what went wrong.
Hush that mouth over there. Tell them again.
Stop crying about what went wrong.
And make it God will take pain and make it power.
Ain't no party like a cowboy party. But what about a Law Nation's groove? Come on, baby. Yeah. 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 Come on. Hey. Come on with it. Happy Friday to you, and you. Come on, baby. Come on with it. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. All right, so the Cowboys in the news cycle for Joey Porter. We can get right to it. He's not a gaudy interception guy, but every year he played in the National Football League, he had at least one INT. He was drafted in 2023. He's a guy that the Cowboys could be looking into. He's on the final year of his contract. And, of course, many people are talking about is Joey Porter is an option to put on the opposite side of Revel or the opposite side of Durant or the opposite side of Bland? Or is it a situation that you just move on from Bland and then you go get Joey? That could be a possible situation. It states here Joey Porter Jr. trade would complete the Cowboys defense overhaul. Now, that's a lot of dip on the chip as far as completion because I'm not satisfied, right? I'm not the kind of person that sit back and say, yeah, man, we should be satisfied with what we did with Miller. We got Rashawn Gary. We got a Jalen Thompson, PJ Locke and them. I'm not satisfied. I still want more, just like my guy Joe won last night. More and more, more and more, more. I want more. Joe did won last night, right? He won, right? But shout out to all of the versus battles out there, man. They had audio difficulties and technical difficulties there. So you know how that goes. But I think Joe won, Yeah. The other guy, he came with it, but, just wasn't enough. Gonzalez would be better. Too much J from the words of his mouth to everybody's ears. I like Gonzalez. I think Gonzalez would be a whole lot better. But we can only deal with the scraps that's given. Now, with that being said, I think way back many moons ago, I did like an audio video breakdown of Joey. And I'm going to see if I can find it right quick. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Go to here. Go to my page. Yeah. Boy, I went into Twitter on the whims. Boy, you never know what pull up on Twitter, too. But shout out to Twitter. So we did sort of did something with this. Let me see if I can. I can't even download it. So hold on.
Put a check mark in that.
Bear with me. We gon' finagle around and see if I can make it bigger. All right. Appreciate everybody for rocking with me on this beautiful, and I mean just that beautiful Friday. And we got a super chat, baby. Shoot, come on with it.
Swazi $8,455 9.99.
Swastika.
Jimmy is super petty, but I get it from his perspective. Why are you continuing to lie to the public when we both know what actually happened? Lol, now we finally know the actual paperwork.
Let me see. From a perspective aspect of it, give me 1 second. And let me see and decipher what you're saying. Jimmy is super petty, but I get it from his perspective. Why you continue to lie to the public when we both know what actually happened? Laughing out loud. Now we finally know the actual paper. Boy, are you speaking in some type of who's Jimmy? You talking about Johnson? Wait a minute. Like, I don't know. Is this super chat meant to be sent? From a perspective, like, what are we continuing to lie to the public? What is this? What the context of this is? I'm all the way lost, bro. I'm for real, man. I'm lost. And if I had an option, man, if you didn't mean to send it, I'll send it back. What are you talking about? What are we digging up on Jimmy? Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. Jimmy, is it Jimmy Johnson? Like which Jimmy? Jimmy Love. Jimmy is the GOAT, right? And you got to send me some more details of what you are referring to. But this was the overall concept of, okay, Jimmy Johnson contract was posted on Twitter. Okay. Jimmy Hoffa. All right, let me see if I can at least dig this in, since you sent me something, and we would derail the show just for a quick second for the entertainment of that. And I appreciate you, Swazi, man. I call you Swayze, so maybe I'm reading it wrong. Swayze. Don't think the man is crazy. I think the man is a good guy, man. Let me see if I can find Jimmy Johnson contract. All right. So I'm going to flip this thing over right here. And Ed Water, yesterday, former Super Bowl winning Cowboys head coach Jimmy Johnson posts the clauses in his first contract with Jerry Wayne Jones. Reference personnel control. All right. Does this explain Cowboys' responsibilities? Now, this is old bodies. This is old. And I mean just that old information. But he says, does this explain Cowboys' responsibilities? And it says this right here. And I appreciate you giving Jimmy a bone, right? It states here, I'm going to try to read with my Mississippi eyes. I'm a hooked on phonics. Shout out to you all. I'm a hooked on phonics king over here. Johnson shall have the following duties and responsibilities. As it read here, no assistant football coach, trainer, equipment man, or strength coach shall be fired or employed by employer without prior approval of Johnson, right? Johnson shall have the right of prior approval with respect of the acquisitions, releasing, and trading of all, not some, but all football players of the Dallas Cowboys. Okay? And the third option here, Johnson shall have complete control of all assistant coaches, players, trainers, and equipment man during training practice, preparation for, and the actual plan of game. Notwithstanding the foregoing, neither the assistant coach players, and it stops there. So what made Jimmy post this information? Like this allegory, like what made Jimmy Johnson post this information? I need more and more context. Like it was already documented that Jimmy Johnson focused on football player personnel and control, right? While Jerry focused on the money thing. This was already been talked about for many a moons, right? So from my understanding, this is just digging up old news, in my opinion, so if Jimmy wants to get some shine and spotlight, and Jimmy, my guy, what I just need to know a little bit more. Was Jerry out here saying that basically it was all of him or nothing, right? Jimmy always had control, and when Jimmy left, it was from my understanding that Jerry talked to his son, Stephen Jones, and said, you know what, I would never relinquish my powers again. I would never go through this process again. And I know how that feels. Like as a business owner, the person that's really putting the money towards the absolutely situation that you want to have control. But if somebody else is just pretty much riding under your coattails, then you're sitting there like, man, come on, man, I'm the money man. But in life in general, I think it's needed to be that way. I call it the balance of power. You need that balance, man. Some people, man, hey, man, I drink a lot of water. Sometimes too much water can kill you or dilute the whole thing and have your cells flooded, right? So I think that water is good, but you got to do it in moderation. Peanut butter is good, but you got to do it in moderation. Too much peanut butter have you like a roly-poly, right? Belly sitting out farther than your knees. You can't see your meats and all of this stuff. Can't even see your feet because you ate too much peanut butter, So it is for what it is. I do understand that part of it. So balance is key. I think that where Jerry went wrong is that he went too far into saying, I want complete control. And absolute power corrupts absolutely. You know what I'm saying? So Jerry went and said, you know what? I will never get back to these type of moments. I got to put some comical release into it. Come on, Brandy. Yeah. But what I'm saying is with Jerry, I think that that's where he went wrong. You know what I'm saying? And Jimmy, we all knew this. It's not new news. You know what I'm saying? This is not new news, Jimmy. So I don't know what would entice him to post this. But unless they had an argument that we don't know of and he want to include all of us into it, right? Meets and feats. You know what I'm saying? You know, so I just look at it from that aspect. Jimmy, my guy. All right, so back to Jerry. Even Jerry Sweeze, Gene Jones said, you got to fix this stuff, man. Fix it. And I think that what ultimately happened with Jerry, and this is just my opinion, what happened to Jerry is sometimes your success can be your biggest failure. Jerry sat there with a natural face and said, I can find 500 other coaches to do your job and win. And what happened was absolutely that. He found Barry Switzer and he won. And he thought that he was right. The lie can travel all around the world 1,000 times over before the truth roll up out of the bed. And what happened over a course of the seasons and years, people will say, hey, Jerry, yeah, you won, man, gave him his flowers. But that truth came on knocking on that door, and Jerry like, hey, who that? Who that at my front door? And then Jerry opened the door and it was the truth. Jerry, you didn't win that damn Super Bowl. What you mean? I won the Super Bowl. No, you didn't. That was still Jimmy's players, Jimmy philosophy, Jimmy principles. And Troy Aikman himself said we had to win in spite of the damn coaches, basically. So Troy had to reach back into the information which was bestowed upon him from Jimmy. So that's what happened. And Jerry been chasing that ghost for 30 years, 30 seasons, or one can argue 31 years, 31 seasons. And it's good that Jerry bumped his head and realized now, in order for me to win in the National Football League, I got to talk less. I got to be less assertive with my mindset. I got to think outside of the box. I'm hearing that Jerry thinking about leaving tent up there so that the sunlight will not beam through the stadium. That's growth, right? Jerry is making the moves properly now. Therefore, I can't beat Jerry up as much. Now, I'm not giving him flowers yet. Some people are already giving him his flowers. I'm giving Jerry seeds, right? And he can do whatever he need to do. Water these damn seeds. And he put a little water on it when he went and got a Von Miller. He put a little water on it when he literally is making sure that we are making the proper moves. It just haven't been flowers yet. So with that being said, shout out to Jerry Wayne and stuff. Jimmy, I don't know what the need for bringing this up for right now. Maybe you guys can entertain it. But Jerry getting seeds from me for right now. And Swayze, I really appreciate you for sending the super chat and having me to go down this tunnel. And speaking of this tunnel, let's talk about the fact that we could be trading for Joey Porter, not Bosa, but Joey Porter, and getting things going from here, or it could be somebody. We got another super chat. DP says, folks are turning on CD like I said they would. My thing is with CD, he's the best one of the best wide receivers in the National Football League. He has a certain temperament about himself. When he's off, he's off. I never seen CD start slow and then all of a sudden gear up, right? He's sensitive to a degree, right? But then again, you see dogness in him. So he's more finesse physical, whereas the polar opposite is GP. He's physical finesse. Only bigger breakup is Brazzer and Mia Kiffin. Hey, shit. Wait a minute. She broke up with them. I would confirm or deny it, but if I pull that up, then I might lose a little. I might get banned. But this is my thoughts when Joey was going to the draft. This was my thought before he played in the National Football League, so don't hold me to it now.
You're looking for a dynamic DB. Look no further than Joey Porter Jr., 6'2", right at 195 to 200 pounds, give or take. Physicality, you can put a check mark in that box. Speed, you can put a check mark in that box.
The
coverage ability, you can put a check mark in that box. He brings all of that to the table. He may be the first DB gone from this 2023 draft and this class. I'm telling you, they got some good DBs out here. So let's look at the physicality that he brings to the table.
I must have had a cold that day. I was sounding like Snoop.
Coverage ability, he erases the opposition in press. I like what he brings to the table, especially fitting into a system that the Cowboys operate will be nice. I think he will be long gone before the 26th pick. But Joey Porter Jr., look him up, mark it down. Won't be one of those DBs that everybody going to be talking about in the upcoming years.
All right, so shout out to Joey Porter Jr. Now his dad was phenomenal, man. I thought he brought a lot to the table, had great pedigree and stuff like that. And, I'm all down for a bloodline. But bloodline can get you wrong because Kyer Elam was a bloodline guy, right? So let me just hold my hands up like this and say, damn, I was wrong. But it is for what it is. And shout out to you, Toxic Tom. You try to put that diddler on me, man. I was gone, boy. You couldn't get me, boy. You couldn't get me. You couldn't get me. But shout out to you, Toxic. And when we get right here, this was something that one of the people was streaming at about the fact that he could be traded. And let's listen to this right quick.
Oh my God, the Steelers are trading Joey Porter Jr.? As Joey Porter Jr. is heading into the final year of his rookie contract, multiple teams around the league have been calling for Joey Porter Jr. as he's a potential trade target. Now, teams are showing interest, but are the Steelers interested in trading away Joey Porter Jr., who's their top cornerback on the team? Because ultimately, they got to decide whether Joey Porter Jr. is worth his next contract, which he'll make at least $30 million per year, or just trade him away and get some assets out of him. And if you want to keep up with everything happening during the...
Hey, you know what? that TikTok stuff, it works, man. It works. I ain't gonna hold you that. Hey, guys, man, I got a crazy story to tell you, man. I'm too old for it, man. I'm too old for it, man. Where my guy here? Rex, I'm getting too old for this. Rex! I'm too old for this. Yeah, man, it's just crazy. Rex! They want people to do that too. YouTube, they try to coach you up in YouTube Academy. Hey, you want to be able to have the excitement and stuff. Man, I'm too. If I do it, it's real. But this dude is crazy. Man, he must have. Let me tell you something about Joey Porter.
Let me crack you.
That's what he did. He hit a line before he did that video. Let me just watch it again. Joey Porter. Oh my God.
Oh my God. The Steelers are trading Joey Porter Jr. As Joey Porter Jr. is heading into the final year of his rookie contract, multiple teams around the league have been calling for Joey Porter Jr. as he's a potential trade target.
Okay.
Now, teams are showing interest, but are the Steelers interested in trading away Joey Porter Jr., who's their top cornerback on the team? Because ultimately, they got to decide whether Joey Porter Jr. is worth his next contract, which he'll make at least $30 million per year, or just trade him away and get some assets out of him. And if you want to keep up with everything happening during the NFL offseason, make sure you hit that follow button. But you know what?
You know what?
Trade for Joey Porter Jr. The
Dallas Cowboys.
Currently in the market looking for a new lockdown cornerback one. We're going to have to wait and see what happens next, but Joey Porter Jr. could very well be traded off the Steelers even before the season begins. Oh my God.
Oh my goodness. I'm going to start doing videos like this.
Oh my God.
Wait, we got.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness! yeah. So $30 million. That's a lot of dip on the chip, man, for Joey and them. I wouldn't do it for 30. Now his market value. Let me pull this up. And they got 23.4 over here, and they comparing the age and the range to Trent McDuffie. I don't think that he's in that kind of caliber. They got him with Taylor, Pat Surtain, and Gardner. Now, Sauce Gardner. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm wrong, man. Maybe I'm wrong. Is he shut down-ish like that, ladies and gentlemen? He played 14 games last season, 52 tackles, 35 solos, 17 assists, 1 INT. Maybe they shy away from throwing the ball his way. Then in 2024, he played it and started in 16 games, 70 total tackles, 53 solos. I like the 53 in that year, 17 assists, 1 INT. And then you look at his rookie year, solid, 42 tackles, 32 solos, an INT. And then, of course, last season he did have a sack. So if I'm looking at it from this particular situation, Joey in this system, I think he would fit right with Christian Parker, but I don't think that it's worth or worthy of 30-something odd million dollars, especially when you got Bland getting paid $92 million guaranteed money and all of this stuff, and his guarantees are up at the end of the year. So is he a solid guy? Yeah. Now, if I'm beggars can't be choosers, if it's me, he's 6'2". Porter's 6'2", 6'1", 6'2"-ish. But if it's me, ladies and gentlemen, beggars can't be choosers. I would take Joey Porter way over that Dory Jackson kid, right? Come on, man. I would definitely dive into that conversation about, hey, I would take that particular situation. JJ need to sign GP before they go get Porter. Here's the ruling with that, ladies and gentlemen. They cannot extend, and they can't even offer a contract until afterwards of the franchise tag, right? So at this point, because we missed the deadline of July the 15th on extending and extracting money and moving it around for GP, you can't do nothing with GP until the year 2027. And if we talking about 2027 to get Joey Porter, that's bullshit, because I'm needing somebody now. I ain't trying to look. As crazy as it sounds, I'm trying to win now. I ain't trying to win 2028. I ain't trying to win 2029. I know what we do today will be better for tomorrow, but I'm trying to win today. I'm trying to win today. I'm trying to win today. So anything beyond today is pretty much something that we ultimately just don't need, ladies and gentlemen. That's just my connotation. Because at the end of the day, okay, he says Awuzie is free agent. Would you take him right now? This is Will. Let me pull that up. I'm going to pull up all of the DBs that's free agent right now. I think that this is a much needed conversation now that we thinking about this. And to me personally, if I'm going to be real with y'all, bump all of the DB conversation, because your front five, or your front seven, I meant to say, predicts and predicate what your DBs can play like. If you generating pressure up front, I can roll with what we got right now. We don't really have to need to go grab a DB. But since it is the objectivity of the hour to speak about this from a Cowboys perspective, that maybe, just maybe, we need help at DBs, then I'll roll with that. I'll roll with the notion that we can look down this rabbit hole and see what we can pull up out of the hat. Let me see right here, cornerbacks. Then we're going to go availability. Bear with me, baby. I'm pulling it up now. And these names that's on this list, Let's pull it up right now. And for those who don't have access, here you go. I'm going to send you the link so you can look at it yourself as well. And here's the link. Appreciate y'all. Boom. Here we go. Appreciate y'all. Hit that like button. Sharing is caring. Sharing is caring, ladies and gentlemen. Thank y'all for getting me up to 300. I feel better, man. I feel better, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Because, man, when I watch it, man, I'll be watching y'all, man. All right. Okay, so here's the DBs that's available. I'm already seeing someone that I'm eyeballing here, and that is Kenny Moore. I'll take a real good look at him. Marshawn Lattimore, he can be a towel boy, so to wipe the sweat off of GP and CD, that's all he can do. He can apply to be a towel boy, you know. Jimmy Ward, that's a long tooth. Like I said, we don't want to be the AARP boys. Jeff Okuda, he's 27. Shout out to him, Grand Prairie's own Jeff Okuda. I will bring him in for tryouts, right? Like, come on, try on out, man. Let's see what you can do, man. Can you play any kind of caliber of special team? But I like Jeff Okuda, man. Who else on this list? I always knew Artie Burns would never be somewhat of a good DB because of his last name. You can't be a damn DB and your last name Burns, right? Every time somebody catch a ball on you, we burn you, man. You living up to your name. Jalen Mills, he's 32. He's a DeSoto-owned Texas boy. I will at least bring him in for a cup, you know what I'm saying, of coffee, you know. It's really a crazy list. Let me look at some of and although we have a lot of safeties, but just in case, let me see if anybody's safeties on this list that's available. Dono is available. Harrison Smith, I meant to say, he's 37 and a half, man. He's finna be 38 around this mug. Jordan Power, if he was like 5 years younger. Jabril Peppers, if he was like 2 years younger, he's 30. Bush, nah. So it's not really a lot of guys on this list that I would really take a real good look at. I will look at this and default to the fact that we okay. Believe it or not, the only people that I have a big reservations on the secondary are people that's worthy of being damn cut. You know what I'm saying? Like Speed and Carson's and them. I wouldn't lose no sleep, and I hope they ain't watching because I'm going to talk bad about them anyway if they are, is that I wouldn't lose no sleep of all of a sudden the Cowboys wake up and they say they cut Kalen Carson. You know, I'm not mad. I wouldn't be mad at it if they cut the guy Speed. If they cut, who else they can get going from here? Because I want Butler to make it. That's about it. There's somebody else on that list that we can say, man, we ain't really worried. You know what I'm saying? So, DBs, we okay, ladies and gentlemen. Carsons can go, basically. Right, man. You just get on up out of here, man. So, get on up out of here. I trust, put it like this, and I know we don't have tangible information or evidence that this defensive back's going to be better for the 2026 season until we absolutely play into the season. I'm more worried about our damn edge rushers and linebackers than DBs at this point. In shorts, that's what I'm going to say from there. You know, I'm not worried about our DBs. And I got to wait and see. That's just for what it is. All right, so let's talk about this. And we're going to pull up these topics, man. But before we go into these topics, I just want to go ahead and tell you got one more day before the drawing, and that's to book your stay at Choctaw Casino and Resort our proud partners in Durant. But let's talk about it and listen to this.
Away, 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 away.
Away, away.
Away, 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 away. Away, away. Away, away.
Book your stay at Choctaw Casino and Resort. Get away.
There's one chance left for you to win $1 million during the 3 months 3 Millionaires giveaway at Choctaw Casino and Resort Durant. 2 Rewards Club members have already walked away millionaires. And you could be the one to take home the final $1 million prize. The last chance to flip your future is August 22nd. Choctaw Casino and Resort Durant, where millionaires are made.
Where millionaires are made. Though she got a smooth voice. And we got 2 or 3 people that reached out that said they're going to be in Choctaw Casino and Resort this weekend. So hopefully 1 or 2 of them can probably win it. And all y'all got to do is just give Law like a little founder's fee or something like that and just shoot me something, $2, $5, man. It don't matter, anything to get in there, man. So be sure to support the nation and all that you guys do, because one of y'all gonna win it. I just have a feeling, even if I have to rig it, come on, baby. Hey, reach out to Choctaw and say, hey, pull that name right there. pull Roland name, man, right there.
What's your point?
Hey, we try to make it, Jerry. Shoot, you give me a handful of millions, boy, I might buy a wing out there in Dallas land. You better watch out, Jerry. You better watch out. But be sure to check that out. Speaking of this, we're gonna switch over and talk about some fluff stuff. Okay, it's okay, ladies and gentlemen. Talk about some fluff stuff.
I just think the big play nature of George as well, where it's if George Pickens is beating me on a play, that could be a 50-yarder. Even if he doesn't come up with the ball, he might have drawn the pass interference, and it's a huge play. I just think the highs for George Pickens at this point are so much higher, and the only thing I would give to Lamb today is just the versatility factor of being able to move around. And that didn't really prove to be much of an issue for George last year. Yeah, there were moments for sure, but I think they got a game plan now to how to combat some of the things that defenses want to try and do. And I don't think it's out of the question that we end up seeing George play more than just your typical boundary X receiver. So,
no doubt. And speaking of George, he's one of those guys, man, that can cover every blade of grass out there on the field. And I get it. When we start talking about Pickens versus Lamb and all of this stuff, we got both of them. For the 2026 season, we got both of them. So there shouldn't be like, hey, one is better than the next, because everything can happen through the course of the year. There's going to be games that 3 going to be down. There will be games that 88 will be down. But damn it, 3 and 88 can't be down at the same time. So I like that. And if that's the case, then 19, he's mean. He should step up and do some things just like this. Now, granted, yes, we probably be looking at it like, man, we need DBs, man. Yeah, we need DBs, man. When you have Lamb and Pickens and damn 19 and he's mean, and I'm talking about Ryan Flanoy of how he did the rookie. Oh, my goodness. So it's a rude awakening when we start thinking about these type of things. I do like the fact that iron sharpens iron. Hold on. Let me just make this bigger right quick. Hold on. Y'all bear with me, man. I want to pull this one up and put this one inside the computer, though. Give me 1 second, because I got to talk about this. And that's just for what it is, Cowboys. We living through the moments that we are watching greatness being built. Competition on every level, man. It's no freebies and layups and stuff. Hold on, boom. Bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. There's no layups and stuff. That's what I like. There's no layups. There's no freebies and stuff like that. And speaking of freebies, hey, welcome to the NFL, my guy. Hold on, let me fix this up right quick. Mute that, and then we're gonna put it on loop. Let's talk about Caleb Downs. I get it. Cowboys.com probably won't show you these, right? They'll show you this one because, that was incomplete. But I just want to say this. Welcome. One of my favorite movies was Nothing to Lose. Martin Lawrence and the guy that played on Shawshank Redemption. I forgot the white guy's name. But one of the scenes on that movie, he says, "Welcome to hell, biatch." And I just want Downs to know it's okay, man. Welcome to the NFL, Downs, because those are things that in a typical week, on a typical, and I mean just that, on a typical Sunday, Monday, Thursday night, that you are not finna get a CD Lamb. You're not finna get a JP. You're not finna get a speed demon like, dare I say, a Cavante Turpin. You're not finna get a number 3 wide receiver that can be literally a number 2 wide receiver somewhere, right? You're not finna get these type of situations. Tim Robbins, yeah, that's his name, man. Yes, indeed. Tim Robbins. Go watch that. Nothing to Lose, man. I think his name was Nick. Yeah. Tim Robbins was crazy, man, in that movie. If that's his name, boy. Tim Robbins, boy. He says, in that movie, he said, so you walked in on your lady, and she said, she's one trifling, you know what I'm saying? He said, you know what? I would have told, I forgot the line, but he was like, that's what I would have told him. And he was like, because he was like, Nick Bean is his name. Nick, that was his name, right there. Tell him, Trev, Nick Bean. Oh my gosh, man. I'm gonna go watch it so I can refresh my mind, Nothing to Lose. But then at the end, he was like, boom, I'm married. You know what I'm saying? He was telling that guy he's married. Nick Bean, he thought his lady was cheating on him, man. Boy, he went crazy. Love Shawshank Redemption. One of my other favorite movies, man. Yeah. He was obtuse. He says he was a little too obtuse and had that man working all type of crazy stuff. Shawshank Redemption. This weekend, I'm going to go watch Shawshank Redemption, and I'm going to go back and watch Nothing to Lose. Yeah. Two of the greatest movies, man. Shout out to Tim Robbins. All right, so that's my thoughts, tracks on that. But getting back to what I was saying with Caleb Downs, have y'all laughs now. Have your worries now. Have your thoughts on this kid of not being who you think that he is. But if what you can see outside of Cavante Turpin, he's contesting every throw. He's right there. He just don't put him on a Cavante Turpin, right? And then, of course, my guy did him bad right there. But I do like these type of things because I know for sure Downs is not getting that, what we call that treatment, that Michael Parsons treatment, where they roll the red carpet out for him and he can't do nothing wrong. The center of attention is not him. He's like third or fourth on this particular team, as people talk about, because more people talk about other stuff. Because there were a lot of people during the time when we had 11 here was literally saying, "Oh man, he's the end all be all. He's the best player on the team, and we can only win with him, and I will only pay him." Boy, you can't find those people now. Toxic Tom says, "Law, Shawshank made me want to be an accountant." Hey, old boy was cold-blooded with it, right? Had some good shoes. So I like what we're doing with Downs and stuff like that. I'm not worried at all. I'm not worried at all. Let's get back to these topics at hand. Let's go to Uncle Mickey.
Saw something in the joint practice, Mickey, that I wanted to ask about yesterday, but we had run out of time. So I wanted to see if I can. Saw a couple of plays that I felt were nifty little unique plays to Ferguson, and it seemed like they got him the ball in a couple of non-traditional ways, and then a couple of traditional ways as well in the red zone. Have you noticed throughout camp him getting more work or having some other plays built for him this year?
I don't know if it's different. I think what's different is their ability to maybe prolong plays so he can get down the field. Okay. I think one of the things I've seen, and I don't know if this is what you're talking about, you know how you normally throw little swing tackles to the running back? Mm-hmm. They're throwing them to him.
Okay.
Like if he starts in motion and goes around. And
No. Throw that thing to Jadon Blue or Cavante Turpin, Lamb, GP. Throw that damn thing in a circle. Don't throw it to Jake Ferguson. Ferg, boy, he runs like a 5'8" something, you know. Yeah. So I don't know about that, you know. But I'm going to let Mickey finish this up. Yeah. Shawshank Redemption was a real good movie, man. You talking about the sisters? Yeah. They was nifty and crazy. Had that man fighting. He said, "If I throw this in your eyes, you're gonna become blind." They didn't give a damn about being blind. So that's why I haven't been to prison, y'all. There's a lot of people. Shawshank Redemption made a lot of people not want to go to prison. Yup. And then Brooks. They should have just left Brooks inside, man. Brooks got outside. He didn't know what happened. He didn't know what was going on. Brooks was here, baby. Brooks was my guy, him and that damn bird. Yeah.
It's not like he's just trying to draw coverage. They'll throw him the ball on some of those and allow him to run.
Okay.
And I think that was a little bit unique. But again, they weren't trying to show too much in that scrimmage, right? And they weren't trying to show too much against the Rams because they got to play them later I think it's right before Christmas. They got to play them guys again. So as Schottenheimer pointed out, he goes, yeah, maybe we were using our 5-iron in the scrimmages and to protect what they're showing other teams.
Yeah. I think the one I saw a little shovel pass, which I've seen the shovel pass to him before.
Right. Oh yeah, now the shovel pass inside. That's a good play. I've seen Travis Kelce score so many touchdowns with that pass. Now, that play alone, I don't think you have to run that fast, right? So the shovel pass, if y'all know what I'm talking about, with Jake Ferguson, I can live with that one. Because think about it. If you have CD and GP, or even to a degree, number 6 is pretty much Cam Brown out there, teams are going to be like, damn, these guys can jump up out of the room, you know. So the shuttle pass, the little shove pass that he does, that can probably work, though. You know, it can probably work there.
But seeing, a little bit of that and then hearing that about the swing tackle, I like that a little more, too. That's fun. I think, Kevin, you and I were discussing.
I think one of the things.
Yes, indeed. All right, so this is what I want to hear, too, about Clayton Adams.
Thoughts on Adams doing the passing game install as well? Is this an opportunity for growth?
I think so, absolutely. I mean, he has been very vocal about the run game's his bread and butter. Being a former offensive lineman, that's his language. But being able to then feel confident enough to install the passing game, and then Shoddy seeing him do that has also allowed his competitive juices and creativity to start flowing. I think those two together, you're able to then get some pretty creative things. So I think it's just another step in his maturation to become an NFL head coach one day.
I like Clayton Adams. if he's gonna start off with them halfback slams, and I see the option that I see where he's trying to go from a mental mindset. and Clayton Adams, he's a physical type of mindset guy. You know, we finally had physical runs, but the problem is with it, understand who you got. Now, a bird told me that Jadon Blue has a banged up shoulder, and he's really, really brittle guy, right? Can be a guy that complains and whines about the pain. Some people can fight through pain, some people can't. Now, I will be watching tomorrow to see whether or not Jadon Blue is running without pain, and hopefully he won't put that ball on the ground, because we are looking for one fumble from him, and then they ready to go with the fumble narrative. But that birdie told me that and it could be Brooks' bird, you know, that, or offspring at this point, because that movie is old. That movie 40 years old now, I believe, Shawshank Redemption. So my thing is with the running back stuff, we need physicality. If you saying Gotti is going to be violence and physicality and tempo and all of this stuff, then you're going to have those guys to be able to run in between the A or B gap. But Clayton Adams, you got to be cognitive and mindful enough that you can't continue to run lighter guys like a Jadon Blue up A gap and B gap.
Thoughts on Adam?
So that's just my thoughts on that one. All right. Let's listen to this.
Career average is 5.1% drops for Lamb. The league average is 5.2, so it's not like it's horrible. But last year it was 6.8. His first 2 years was 7.2 and 6.7. And the 2 years before he got paid, he cut it down to 3.8 and 3.3. He gets paid, and now we're over league average. Okay, wow. So I
usually it's the opposite.
I mean, I don't know. I think that the desire to get paid locked him in a way that he has not been able to harness post payday. So that was interesting to me.
CeeDee Lamb being a drop guy, I think he's a concentration drop guy. Like when his concentration is battered, he checks up out of it. When his concentration is battered and bruised, he checks up out of it. Now, is this going to be ongoing forever, ever? I would argue and say no. But at this point, we got to say to ourselves, if he don't clock in and check in with his mental capacities and these drops continue to happen, then of course we're going to get into this mindset that maybe he is a drop guy and you have to get him in rhythm and motion before you absolutely say to yourself, okay, he's going to be our guy to deliver the ball to in crucial moments. Dak knows who CeeDee Lamb is. CeeDee Lamb put up some nice numbers when healthy, and CeeDee Lamb is the driving force to a lot of things for this team. But we can't coddle him. We got to give him some tough love sometimes. But I just look at it from the aspect, if Lamb is that gentle and can't go through this, and if we go into week one and he's moping around with the Jay Leno face, with the long chin and everything, then it would be time to say, hey, man, we are right with CeeDee Lamb of being a guy that can't overcome things, right? But we'll find out down the stretch. Can we talk about GP fumbles? This is from Elijah. Shout out to you. Yeah, man, GP, he reminds me of a Desmond Bryant, careless with the ball once they catch it, right? And those are things that we can all sit back on and say, okay, let's correct those things. Catch the ball, make your physical move, get out of bounds. But his fumbles were not as egregious as them damn drops were, right? And I'm not trying to put one above the other, right? That's not the angle there. And I hope that you guys are not seeing it that way. And I get it, ladies and gentlemen, I get it. Let's move on to the next topic matter here. But I think that CD will not have those drops for this season. But if they continue then yes, we're having these little issues. Come on with it.
By the way, I'm going to report this for you today. Okay. I believe Joe Milton is going to start for you in this game.
All right.
So
he deserves that opportunity.
We'll
Hal got it last week.
Yeah, we'll see Joe Milton get the first. We'll get the first go at it here. So keep an eye on that. Yell at me if I'm wrong, but I think that's going to be the case. So do keep an eye on that.
I'll scream at you in the pregame.
Please do. By the way.
All right, so Joe Milton. Remember we was talking about Joe versus Sam. Sam did a great job in the other preseason game. You're going to have some of your better, and I mean just that, better players on the first wave, right? And I said, if y'all want Joe to light it up, you're going to have to put Joe in the second half. Now, against the Cards, which will be very intriguing to see tomorrow, Joe getting the first team reps. If we see some moon balls and we see some accuracy and we see some poise, then it's going to be a very, very thin chance for my guy Sam Howell, Pat Mahomes, second coming, to do anything, right, as far as making the team. I think that the team already geared up to have Joe Milton as your number 2 quarterback, and they wanted to inspire him and have some flames up under him, and who else could do it? And it would have been Sam Howell. Now, here's my overall thoughts of Joe versus a Sam. Joe got a higher upside, more potentials. I think that with Sam, this is his cap. Sam will be no better than what we seen the first preseason game. To a point, I'm kind of a little disappointed in Sam because as a guy who had over 7 starting games in the National Football League, he should have been able to move that ball a little bit better, but neither here nor there. Shout out to you for your support. I really thank you so much for everything that you're doing for me. Tell him, Trey, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the silver stars. So that's just my thoughts. Now, when y'all see these type of things, just because we talking globally of Joe doesn't mean that he has arrived. He got a lot of things that he have to get better at. But you'll be a monkey's uncle to sit back and watch these clips, and I know these highlightable clips, and to say he didn't improve from last season. He improved. And now what we're trying to do is marry the improvement of what he did during this off-season training camp into tangible things as it relates to a preseason game, whereas it's a difference. This would be the Cards, I believe, because they played on Hall of Fame night. This would be their 3rd preseason game. So they in preseason shape. So either he can lay an egg versus the Cards, like 2 INTs fumbling and got doggone always running around looking for an opportunity instead of using his arm that can set him back, or he can be the kind of caliber of guy to rise to the occasion and stand tall with it. And on top of that, and just because if he do get out there and score 2 or 3 touchdowns, I know how people are, and they will sit back and say, see, Dak Prescott, he better watch out. Dak is in trouble. You better watch out. He's coming for his job. And to a degree, if Joe shows up, and if he shows up and do those type of things, I would look at it from these perspectives. 1, you got you a nice, good backup quarterback. 2, in a pinch, if you need to throw him into this situation, he can stand tall with it. 3, if you got Joe Milton slinging the ball around and it's really good, and that's and those are the tools out there, then you can close your eyes and say, yes, in the pinch, if Dak Prescott goes down, knock on wood, Now you got a Joe that can throw around the ball to a Cavante Turpin, a George Pickens, a CD Lamb, or putting the ball in the belly of Javonte Williams. Now you can tangibly work with those type of things. But for right now, this is not a quarterback competition. This is a situation whereas we trying to better our best and have all parts put together that can work out for the good. Is Joe an elite quarterback? No. But is Joe on his way to putting pieces together? That answer could be yes. And Big Amish says Joe can overcome a weak right tackle, and that's 1,000,000% right. You know, you with a guy that's athletic like Joe, and if your tackles are crazy, terrible, right? Whatever you roll out to the weak side at, shoot, he can help out. If he can use those legs, he can help out. Toxic Tom says Sam Howell is the Temu Cal Orton. Boy, you crazy. All right, so it is for what it is.
I don't want to make it.
By the way, I'm going to report this for you today. Okay. I believe Joe Milton is going to start for you in this game.
All right. I don't want to make it a big part of my takes going into this season, but I think CeeDee Lamb has something to prove. I don't think it's just the drops.
Yeah.
I think his yak, his focus. There's just a lot of stuff about him that makes me wonder if he's still hungry. And I know George Pickens is hungry. He plays like it.
Yeah, that's clear, and definitely in training camp we've seen that a ton.
Yeah, I think CDO going to be okay. All right, how many more topics we got? NFL find the Cowboys. Okay. All right. Over Sean Ferguson clashes at practice. I heard about that. Shamar James being overlooked. Let me listen.
Are you surprised we don't hear more about Shamar James? Like, there seems to be almost no consideration to Shamar James being part of this linebacker rotation.
No, I'm not surprised.
Even with as thin as they are, like I would think the bodies alone, at least that was somebody who played hair on fire, collect tackles, and give them an effort.
I mean,
you got to earn that. If we're not talking about Shamar James, that's because Shamar James haven't been doing anything that's talk worthy. Like we can't fabricate stuff and be like, hey, let's talk about Shamar James because he led our team in tackles last season. Now, I get what Bobby is saying. I know that they got to make content. But at the end of the day, and I'm not beating up Bobby on that thought track, but I got to tell you, if your name in 2 or 3 weeks is not being brought up, it's because you're not making plays. Why did Byron's name was brought up? Why was his name brought up? Because he made plays. He picked off the damn quarterback 3 times. And even in this preseason game, Shamar James did do a good job of shooting through some gaps, but he didn't get to the quarterback. He hit the guy that didn't have the ball, right? So what I'm trying to say is, if you want to get your name out there, make some plays. This is an open opportunity. When you get your snaps, make them count. Make them count. Because you can't make something count that you didn't make, So you got to go out there and make them count. And he got every chance and a possibility. Because we are in a hype season too. If it's a player that you really want to make this team, he make a PBU, you'll make it sound like it's an INT. If it's a player that you really like, and he fool around and get an INT, this is the time. Just like Camden Brown. It's a player that a lot of people love his story. A lot of people love the opportunity to say, hey, look at this guy. And when he made plays out there in the biggest and the brightest stages of lights, one-handed, I'm quite sure if we look up polls and stuff like that, you will find out that the Cowboys had the most visible storyline and as well as watch time this past weekend. There's no way that you can sweep Cam under the rug now. He got to be on the 53. If not, another team say, you know what? I'll hit that. I'll take a real good look at taking a look at Cam Brown, and we'll scoop him up. So this is for what it is. NFL is not for long. So if you want to get your name out there, you got to make some plays.
Harris played Hair on Fire.
Yes, that's true. But like I was, and Shamar James definitely has his shortcomings. There's no doubt about it. And I'm not saying that he's somebody who should be out there starting, but I think it's interesting that with all the issues that have existed, they're essentially, it feels like, kind of pushing him to the back of the line and not even having him in the competition area. Are you surprised we don't?
Nope, we're not surprised. All right.
Do you think there's anybody that's competing for a starting spot, or is there anything we haven't discussed on that front that could be up for grabs in these last couple weeks?
I think that there's starting spots that are sort of still up for grabs. I don't know if it's between players that are on the roster. I think that, and specifically the one that comes to mind would be the offensive tackle position. Like, I think that Nate Thomas is going to battle some, and if Terrence Steele isn't the guy that they're going to start at right tackle, I would imagine it's somebody that's not on the team. But I will see if Terrence Steele even plays, or Nate Thomas. I think Nate Thomas can play well and maybe get into that mix.
Do you think it is a legitimate concern they have at tackle now?
I think that they do.
Yeah, man. The thing is with all what we were saying about, one of my other favorite movies was Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. I think it was part 2. When this scene happened right here, let me see if I can find it. And it may be grainy. But this is our situation right here. If I can give you guys any analogy, this is our situation. This is what we're living through. Left tackle, right tackle. We having these type of problems, man. And there's nothing that I can think of that can correct these type of problems right now. Unless you go into the trading pool and trade for a solid right tackle or left tackle. Or you can just go into the free agency and spend some money for a Taylor Decker, Humphreys, or somebody like that to bring that up to help this team out. Now, we can only hope, and that's what we're operating out of with Tyler Guyton and Terrence Steele, that once the season kick off, that these guys who can all of a sudden dismiss their horrid plays during the offseason in training camp and be somewhat shape, form, or fashion on the same page. But I don't know, bro. I just don't know. So I'm like Jim Carrey at this point. Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. That it's both bad, So which one do you guys want? And help me, because I don't think that Nate Thomas showed us anything of substance during the training camp to prove that, hey, we okay if one of these boys go down. It's more the same. I don't think that Drew Shelton gave us anything in order to prove that we are okay even if Terrence Steele go down. So we are still in the same situation. Not to beat them boys up, but I got no other way but to tell you guys the truth. Now, if you sitting back saying that, you know what, Law, you being just negative, man. Why you can't be positive about the situation? I'm going to go back to saying this. You want me to lie to kick it? You want me to feel? You want me to tell you the feel good story? I can't do that. So at this point, we like, damn if you do, damn if you don't. They both bad. So hey, Cowboys got to see this. The Cowboys got to understand this. the Cowboys should have some provisions and be proactive and not retro. If we still talking about these tackles week 3, week 6, that's on the Cowboys. That's them of having everything good. You got your damn wide receiver. And I know you can't have Pro Bowlers on every level. I'm not asking. I don't think we're asking for damn Pro Bowlers at tackles. Are we asking for that now? No. Don't spoil me with a good time, but I just think that we're asking for the Cowboys to do something. Because you got GP and CD. You got Javonte Williams running over 1,100 yards, right? You got a Dak Prescott that's getting $250 million, and you decide to use the Walmart locker. Right? So that's what we're saying. We just looking for serviceability. And if your tackles getting pushed back and damn near even in practice getting your damn quarterback leg whipped, right? There's something got to change. That's all we said. Because you Cowboys, you didn't bring in nobody to really compete for that tackle spot. You made it comfortable. You expecting Nate Thomas to push a former first-round draft pick out of Tyler Guyton? You drafted Drew Shelton last season, right? To fight for a job to beat out a guy that got paid north of 10 to 8 to what? How much millions of dollars Terrence Steele got? AJ Cornelius? Who else? Who I'm leaving out. These are not people that is going to light a fire up Tyler Guyton's ASS and Terrence Steele ASS to be worried about losing their jobs. So that's just for what I'm saying. Now, if the Cowboys brought in this veteran guy who got some games up under his belt, and I know the NFL league is razor blade thin in tackles. But at least Cowboys attempt to bring in somebody that can move furniture around by themselves. That's all we saying. Don't give us, man, we trying to compete at this spot, and you just picked up a pair of guys from Walmart and Home Depot to compete. No offense to those guys. You get what I'm saying? Or podcasting. Somebody that's on the sideline for your mind, you know.
Nick, why is Camden Brown not Andy Jones, John Vea Johnson, or Trayshawn Holden, any one of these receivers who have blown people in the past? Why do you think he's different?
I think he's different because he's checking the boxes on a lot of things that you want for a receiver. Number one, can he catch the ball and make the play? I mean, maybe that isn't number one, but that's the number one that we've seen out here. Can you go make a play? Those 2 touchdowns were not good passes. They weren't plays that are just always the quarterback put it right in his hands. He had to go fight for it. He had to go make the play. One of them, he was battling two defenders. Wasn't even a great pass by Sam Howell. He fought and made the play. The other one was just.
Well, they moved Cornelius to guard. Yeah, so Cornelius, shoot, that's even. What's the shit sack Pete guy? You know. Hold on, and this is a quick answer because he's giving a long answer. The reason why Cam Brown is not an Andy Jones or a John Vea Johnson or those boys like we had one guy, Billy Johnson, and all of them boys, it's because he showed up in freaking preseason. Andy Jones, boy, he disappeared. He was good at camp, but when the lights came on, shoot, Houdini ain't got nothing on me. You know what I'm saying? You know, and John Vea Johnson, Houdini ain't got nothing on me. You know. So that's just what happened with those boys. At least with Cam showing us something. You know, TJ Vassar, tall guy couldn't get off his releases. Somebody tear that chest up when he got off of the LOS. Lance Lenore. Boy, I did a video on Lance Lenore. Boy, y'all bringing up all of these boys' names. Couldn't couldn't really do it. Baby Dez and all of this stuff in an actual game. Now, then there was guys that slipped through the cracks. You know, Danny Cole was the T-Move version of my guy Cole Beasley, by the way. Shout out to Danny and them. It was one other name. Yeah. Now, the Cowboys had too much dip on the chip with a Dennis Houston, right? Dennis Houston was a fast guy, had some short area quickness, right? Small school, but they just trying to force it. The Cowboys wasn't really serious, all right? The Cowboys were not serious because that brother started. Like, he was like the active starter in week 1 or something like that. We were sitting there like, come on, man. He's good, but you have money. You can go get somebody that's really good. The Cowboys are suckers sometimes for we the smartest people in the room and watch us get this work done, right? And who's old enough to remember these guys that we all had questions about when they made the damn team, and we sitting here like, oh, okay. Well, if these things do fit in right, they got the measurables. And we will see both of them this weekend. We got to see Jalen Brooks tomorrow. And said with me, Simi Fihoko, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, with the ponytail and all. And they said he's related to Vita Vea. And we said, man, that's the wrong cousin. Man, where the fat cousin at? Because he's on wide receiver duties, right? Maybe Simi should have played some defense. But these guys, where they have these measurables, where they have some good traits or what have you, the Cowboys try to be, hey, we can find another Miles Austin, right? It just didn't happen, right? Devin Streets of the world, Ryan Switzer. Ryan Switzer was good until he fumbled that damn ball, and people put too much dip on the chip because, yeah, he was a lighter hue, brother, and they try to compare him to Cole Beasley because they are the same shade of color. No. Sometimes you can be the same shade of color, but that doesn't mean you're going to play the same, you know? Boy, we tried for many a moons to find a Cole Beasley because we was mad that we got rid of the other kid. Was it Damian Amendola or something? You know, Aduba Abagala, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it was, we got tired of trying to find that kid, right? We tried to find our own Julian Edelman and all of them stuff. Yes, indeed. Kayvon Frazier, shout out to Kayvon. Jeff Heath, boy, we forced Jeff Heath into playing. You know, it is for what it is. Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. I remember fans glazing Simi. Yeah, we glazed the hell out of Simi. But it is for what it is. All the teams kind of do the same thing. I'm trying to figure out what's the name of that guy. Y'all help me out. He went to, I think he won a Super Bowl a few times. Played with Tom Brady and them. Y'all let me know, man. Danny Amendola. He was on Hard Knocks, wasn't he? Shoot, I wanted us to keep him, but his mental faculties, man, boy, mental faculties. Boy, I couldn't talk to them. Mental faculties wasn't all there with the Cowboys. So he ended up going to the damn Patriots, I believe, and did no, he went to the Miami Dolphins first, right? Danny went to Miami Dolphins, and then he went to the Patriots. Tom Brady got him right. Tom Brady got that boy right, but neither here nor there. If you're having troubles, just like me with those words, and you get wrecked up with certain things, let me tell you who you need to reach out to. You need to reach out to our proud partners.
It starts from the first phone call. Most of the time, you're going to talk to Gene Burkett, a 30-year partner. You're not going to talk to some employee that just got put on the phones that day.
There are things that are so crucial, especially if it's a cataclysmic event, to have our experts get out and look at the vehicle, witness statements, photos, the whole thing.
Call Frenkel first.
Chosen by the people, feared by the insurance companies. Call Frenkel first.
That's 214 and every 3 you can dial, or 817. And you will have access to these guys over a combined of 101 years of lawyer experiences here in the heart of Texas, which is Dallas. Reach out to our proud partners, Frenkel & Frenkel Personal Injury Lawyers. If you can't dial that number, just visit FrenkelFirm.com. Now, my hotline for your mind is 657-390-7391. Happy Friday to you all. Let's get this going the best way possible. Yeah, Jabril Cox was one. Charles Tapper. We drafted Charles Tapper before Dak Prescott, I believe. Thought he was Danny Woodhead. Yes, indeed. Trade for Jordan Brooks. I think that could be somewhere down the pipeline. But I got something on y'all right here when I held that 9 from the 979 Dave. Pay. You're live on the Nation. Talk to me.
What's going on with you, Law? Can you hear me okay?
Man, I can hear you. I can hear you today, man. The last 2 days, boy, you was in the jam, boy.
Yeah, man, I don't know what was going on, man. Shoot. But okay, yeah. So to the super chat that I had sent you earlier. So what I was referring to as is that kind of like when I had the conversation with you, I can't remember. It was many moons ago. I was basically talking about how when Zeke and Tony Pollard were here,
right.
Once Zeke started to slow down a little bit and they started going with the whole tandem, that's when folks started talking about how Zeke was trash, Zeke was this. They needed to get rid of him and give Tony the reins and things of that nature. When I was talking about how we can't have anything nice, it feels like that's what's starting to go on now with this whole GP and CD thing. It's like, and I want to make myself perfectly clear. I have, my criticisms with CD. Obviously, he can't be dropping passes like that, and I've even talked to you about when he's sulking on the sidelines and things of that nature. So I'm not approving any of that, but it's at the same time, it's it doesn't make any sense to try to pit these dudes against one another, because now I'm starting to see content of the other content creators and other fans are starting to talk about how the possibility of them trying to trade CD and keep GP, and then they're just trying to pit each other against one another. In my opinion, it just doesn't make any sense. I feel like it's just what are folks trying to prove? They feel like they're just fishing for content and things of that nature. So that's basically what I was getting at.
Yeah, I get it. The Cowboys, CeeDee Lamb, when we lose, we looking for reasons, right? And if the low-hanging fruit could be not Dak Prescott, it'll have to be someone, and 9 times out of 10 it would be Lamb because of the way he kind of moves around in space, right? If he have his head moping down and stuff like that, I get that. So people be looking for solutions, and I think that they voice their opinions and they don't articulate it well enough. That some of this stuff could be all kind of swept under the rug due to coaching or play calling.
Yeah.
The whole when CD got hurt, I didn't blame that on CD. I blame that ultimately on the coaching.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then when CD in that damn Eagles game week 1, I think that you got to get the ball to CD to get him going. He didn't really practice as much, I believe, that year in training camp because it was so much up and down with, GP is here, he's the one, and CD was internalizing it damn, man, I was the shining, I was the gleams and the light that people was pretty much showcasing that I'm the answer. And now I got to take second seat, because all of the attention is going to GP and not me. And you can see it on his face a little bit. He could probably hear some of the outside noise. So that's how I looked at it with CD. It was his concentration. And I went off on CD, not to his face, of course, but over here in his internet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
DP, I was going crazy. I said, man, he was so focused on having the rainbow barrettes in his head. He had the grill. He had the chain. You remember I was going off. And then,
I remember that.
And then the very next game, guess what he did? He didn't have no rainbows in his head. He didn't have that grill. He didn't have them chains. And I'm sitting like, yeah, that's all we care about. And he played better. But sometimes, sometimes you could be right. And maybe I was right. Maybe he just didn't want to wear jewelry that second day. Maybe I was wrong. But 9 times out of 10, he's the kind of guy that when everything is going well, he's good. But when they go to shit, excuse my French, he just plays like it, That even goes in.
No. And the thing is, Law, I like how you put that because, in my opinion, I feel like you get constructive criticism when it comes to the players.
Right.
And so but when it comes to like certain other people, it's like almost like it's like, bro, like it's like I get it, like you don't like the drops, but sitting up here referring to the dude's butterfingers, like, and I'm not saying like name call, sticky stones, like words don't hurt, right. But it's like you got folks out here really sitting there trying to say, how GP's a real number one in CD, or even vice versa. It's just like, bro, it's like just let us have both of these guys, like you know what I'm saying, like, but like obviously call out the criticism when it's warranted. Yeah. But there ain't no need to pit these dudes against one another. Yeah, but I'm the same way you are. Like like him wearing the dang rainbow beads or braids and the dress. Like, bro, it's like chill out, bro. Like this ain't a fashion show, bro. Just go out there and play ball, CD. Yeah. But that's all I was getting at though. So. Yeah. Yes, indeed. But man, appreciate you, man. Love.
Thank you, man. Good call from my guy, man. Good call from him, man. That's DP. And I sure hate it, man. I sure hate that I said those things about CD. Because these kids at the end of the day, man, shoot, when he get about 44, 45, my age, man, he ain't going to be thinking about this stuff. He definitely probably won't even be playing. So when I look at CD, when he do be wearing those stuff, I hope they win. I hope they win. Like when and I can get it. Like I don't know. I don't know if CD from the hood. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to say that just because you got like grills and stuff on and the tattoos and the chain, but he don't give you that energy. It was crazy when we first saw this with Chad Ochocinco. I think he grew up in Miami, somewhere in Florida or something, So Chad Ochocinco, I think that, and I'm not trying to cast judgment. Please don't take this the wrong way, ladies and gentlemen. But when Chad Ochocinco wore them goals in his mouth, man, you knew he was about to turn up in that game. It don't matter who was against him talking smack. Ochocinco was gonna show up when he wear those type of crazy things, right? He wasn't gonna be having those concentration drops. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is, the very next week, he wasn't with all of the flashy stuff. So I was like, yeah, good. Cool Nick says CD is from Louisiana. Yeah, I thought, for some strange reason, I thought he was from Houston or something. But he from Louisiana. Shout out to CD. And please, 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 y'all, I'm not taking no shots at CD. I love the slugs and the grills and the jewelry and all of this stuff. But when you performing, I love all of that. But if you ain't performing, we trying to look for a reason why, And those drops he had, maybe I internalized it. Whereas, like, dude, just play some football, man. All them juries and the stuff, just take that off and just stick to football. And that's how I was going at it. So please, y'all, don't take it like I'm hating CD Lamb for it. But if you're going to do that, show up. Because that dude, GP, he feeds off of the people that's in his face talking smack. Because he going to prove the point. And then when he score that touchdown, just be ready because he going to make you feel crazy. So that's just how I love it. Camo says, he left. Okay, so CD did grow up in Houston, but he's from Louisiana. When he left when the Hurricane Katrina happened. Okay. And that's all. CD, man, we love what he brings to the table. And sensitivity and jealousy is going to always be a real thing. I got 2 daughters. Hold on, let me see. We got some. Better not be some in there. Hold on. Oh, I Hey, 100 grand, baby. I know he finna be happy. Breaking news, Clayton Thompson. Yeah, it's going to the damn Miami Heats. I know my guy 100 grand happy. He back on the Heat sides of things. Ain't that right from the 201? We got some breaking news. I couldn't get to my damn point. Yeah. Now you gonna get Megan with it or? Yeah, Klay Thompson.
I
traded
told you
to
that's
the
what we
damn.
needed. Did I not tell you that?
Picked up by the. Now, what you doing now? What y'all gonna do this year? Then what them damn Heat's gonna do this year?
Going deep in the playoffs.
Okay.
I'm not saying we're gonna sit there and win. We still need some more shooters. Clay's great, but we need another shooter.
Well, you got your shooter. You got your shooter now. You got your shooter now.
We need another one. We can't just go there with one. We need another one.
It's only one ball. You got only what else you need, man?
Listen.
One ball.
The same thing about the 76ers over there. It's only one ball.
That boy happy all get out, boy.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm excited though. That was a big move. That was a big move to make us top 3 in the East.
Okay.
We get back to the old Clay. I mean, Clay gonna have wide open. Man, look, man, we good to go, man. I like the move. I told you we needed to make that move. I told you that. I said that's a move we needed to make.
Man, Clay
should have. That's a move we needed to make.
Clay should have went on over to the Lakers, man. He'd have been fitting right on in. Yeah, Clay would have fit right on in with the Lakers, man. Come on, man. We got a little darker hue. We'd have still been the Mayo boys. Oh my gosh, man.
But what gets me right about some people in Cowboys Nation, right?
Mm-hmm.
They want Pro Bowlers at every position, right?
Right.
They want playmakers at every position, right?
True that.
But when you get these playmakers, you turn them against each other. Like we was begging for a number 2 wide receiver, Law. Was we not? We was begging, Law.
We were.
Come on, man. CD and the randoms. We had the singing group, CD and the randoms for a couple years. We was begging for a number 2. We don't get a number 2. We get a number 1. And y'all want to ship them off the team. Like I just don't understand. I just don't get it, man. That pisses me off. You don't see the Eagles. When they had AJ and old boy, you didn't see them. Hey man, let's ship AJ off. Let's ship Smitty off. You didn't see.
I bet they want AJ back now though.
Yo, don't you understand? That first round pick, that Lemon kid, ain't even have a preseason. He ain't practiced all summer.
Wow, and boy. We don't want them lives right there. Now, I think Dak can still deal with that team if he was over there, but it is for what it is. I get your point. My thing is, my only criticism about CD was that, not necessarily. It's concentration. That's my only critique about CD. It's concentration.
But here's my thing, Law. Mm-hmm. Everybody have a bad game. Everybody have 2 or 3 bad games.
Right. But hold on. Before I enter this, I'm not saying get rid of him. I'm not saying get rid of him. Yeah.
What I'm saying was, what was Cowboy Nation saying? Man, if CD have a bad game, we gonna have a bad time because we can't run the ball. CD Lamb ain't catching the passes. We waiting for Noah Brown to step up. That's what we were saying. CD can have a bad game. All right, CD, you got a bad game. Don't worry about it. GP, hold it down.
Yeah.
DP have a bad game. CD, hold it down.
Yeah.
They doubling up CP and GP. Flow, handle your business.
Facts.
y'all want to throw it all away. Y'all want to go back to the dog days. Y'all want to look like the Giants receiving corps, and that's what y'all want to look like. I got a feeling it's a lot of Cowboys Nation that got spousal abuse syndrome. They want to be like, oh, I wish I had a number 2. I wish I had a number 1 as a number 2. That's what they want a fan like, Law. They really don't want it. They want to just fan and say it.
I see where you're going.
But they don't want it. They want to go back to the Noah Brown days. Man, I hope Noah Brown show up this year. I hope they show up this year. I hope. But they really don't want him to, because then you got nothing to complain about. And it's a lot of these dudes on the radio too. You making up these topics because you got nothing to talk about. So let's talk about GP versus CD. Because you got nothing else to talk about.
And of course, people eat that.
Content creators too, who would say that they want to be real and all this bullshit. Stop talking about the nonsense instead of just saying, you know what? We don't even need to talk about wide receiver, man. Let's talk about another position that we need to focus on. We don't even need to talk about wide receiver because we got 2 dogs over there. Y'all want to talk about, man, we can't keep both of them. So if one needs to get traded, I think this one needs to get traded or that one needs to get traded. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But for right now, let's talk about other spots on the team that need to be talked about. Like one of the tackles.
We definitely got to talk about them tackles, man. Shoot.
You know?
Yeah.
Why y'all wasting time talking about CD and GP? Why? When we could be talking about tackles. When we could be talking about, some people want to talk about the running game. We could talk about that. We could talk about the tight ends. I give it if you want to talk about the tight end. I get that.
Yeah.
Because Ferg trash. Ferg gonna have to show me, man.
He showed me,
man. He need to get his money back. He need to get some of that money back. I can see if y'all want to talk about Ferg and talk about, man, maybe, Span Ford and Trigg could take over Ferg. I get that conversation. Let's talk about that. But leave wide receiver alone. And we got Flo.
Okay.
We got Brown. Yeah. I can guarantee you they gonna start talking about, man, you know what? Hey, CD and Pickens. We got Ferg and Brown.
Yeah. Or, we got to get in front of this, man, because, there could be a situation if, believe it or not, hear me out. Don't shank me with a butter knife. There could be a situation that my guy, Ron Flournoy, goes crazy off, right? And then people say, you know what? We really don't need to pay GP because, shoot, look at this kid. We could just still roll with CD and Flo.
Instead of saying, you know what? We got the best wide receiving core in the NFL. We go 4 deep. I was just talking to my cousin about this yesterday. Mm-hmm. We go 4 deep at wide receiver. Tell me the teams that go 4 deep at wide receiver, Law.
I can't name you. I can't name you, though. I can't name you.
Instead of Cowboys Nation being proud of that, like, you know what? We got the best wide receiving core in the NFL. We go 4 deep.
But you know what? But you know what happened though with this 100 grand? Is that I believe that those people that yell those things out, they got a little fear in them. And the fear part would be that they don't want to be talked about in the barbershops or in the hallways and the byways when we go to the postseason, because there's a small fear in them that says Dak Prescott can't get it done with all of this. And they believe that we always had this. If you ever talk to these people, hear from these people, they always believed that we had
we
solid
teams.
We had stacked teams. No, we didn't have a stacked team like this.
No, we didn't. This team right here is the best team Dak Prescott ever played on. And I can say it right now before a game is even played, based off what I'm seeing in this off season.
Come on with it, man.
Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. But in closing, what else you got, man?
This the best team. So if we can't get and I'm talking about coaching all around, because we had great teams, but guess what? We didn't have coaching.
Yeah.
It looks like we got it all now on both sides of the football.
Hell yeah.
So if Dak Prescott can't get it done right now, then I can say, you know what?
You're right.
I accept the criticism.
Yeah.
I accept the criticism because we got running game. The offense is top. The defense is top. Dak Prescott can't get it done. Come on now. But if Dak Prescott can't get it done, if Dak Prescott is throwing the football and the wide receivers are dropping the ball,
right.
That's the only way I say it's not Dak's fault, though.
Yeah.
Because the ball hits your hands. That's one thing I hate about interceptions. Don't you think interceptions should be a wide receiver stat too? If the ball hits your hand.
Yeah.
And it
Create a category for that.
Right.
Maybe we need to reach out. But before I let you go, 100 grand, you speaking a mighty point, but this is the point that I want to say to those drops and those interceptions from phalanges of hands. Noah Brown would be the 7th wide receiver. He probably won't even make this tape. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not beating up him. I'm only just saying that they're just for what it is. Like that whole topic matter with Shamar James. Mm-hmm. He's where he's at because we got better talent now. You know what I'm saying? We're not depending on him to be talked about. Because that's all we had last season was a Shamar. You know what I'm saying? So people got to understand that this team, that yes, those passes, they're going to be there. GP is going to catch that thing. We all been saying for 2 years straight that Ryan Flanois is better than Jalen Tolbert, right? But politics allowed Jalen Tolbert and Jalen Brooks to be on the field. Not actual skill of play, and at least we can see the better player out there on the field this time.
Would homeboy that went to Miami, would he make the team?
Tolbert?
Yes.
Hell no. I don't think Tolbert makes this team.
Prove my point.
Right. Man,
prove my point.
Appreciate you for calling in, man. Let people know where they can find and follow you, bro.
Holler at me at Graphic Zone HD on Instagram and Facebook. That's Graphic Zone HD, Instagram and Facebook. All right, Lo.
Man, appreciate you, man. And that's the whole point, is that we don't have to lean on those guys, man. There was a time, man, one time I said, man, we the tiny boys. The Cowboys literally rolled out at one game. They had Tiny Deuce Vaughn, Cavante Turpin, and Brandon Cooks out there, and we was expecting to win that game. You know, I'm sitting there like, who he's going to throw the ball to? I mean, he have to damn near throw it at the shows, right? And the tiny boys. Y'all remember that series? I was like, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when we come for you? Tiny boys. So this team is built a whole lot different. And we are moving a whole lot different. And speaking of that, man, I got my guy from the 717 Toxic Tom. Man, you in the building. Talk to us.
Hey, what's up, Law?
Hey, all is well.
How are you doing today, man?
Been doing good.
First off, happy weekend, everybody. Get ready to get out of here, go home. And the thing I've always struggled with is I can't stand when a lot of our fans glaze people that haven't proven jack shit in the NFL.
Yeah.
And I swear some people would rather lose with their favorite players than win making pragmatic decisions. I want a Pro Bowler at every single position, and I would move heaven and earth. If I can get an upgraded somebody, I want to do it.
Yeah.
And I am not attached to anybody other than Ryan Null, of course. But the point of this whole thing is you have two wide receivers who, if you look just around the landscape of the NFL, the Eagles, the Rams, real contenders, they are not saying the things of, oh, we can't afford these guys, we can't do this, we can't do that. They are moving heaven and earth, cash, cap, draft picks, busts, any player they have to get as better as possible. So for the life of me, I just don't understand why fans are just so hell-bent on thinking what they can't do. I can't understand that. And two things are not mutually exclusive. you can have a top offense and have a top defense and pay guys and be cap compliant. I just wish some fans would just go look around what the actual competitors, look in the division. Philadelphia moves differently. And as much as I hate the Eagles, I have mad respect for how ballsy that team is on how they team build. I mean, the way they move money and cap around, it is like a stock trader on bath salts. They are risking capital, knowing that their window is right now, and not worrying about it. They're not worried about TV deals, and we're over here worrying about, can Jalen Brooks be our number 2 wide receiver? It just blows my mind, and I think some people get immense tunnel vision of what they actually can and can't do, and then when you look around the league, you quickly realize it's bullshit. And the last thing I'll say, so if anyone else has to get in line and call, is I went to Penn State, watched Joey Porter Jr. play a bunch. What I will say about him is he's handsy when he is gets beat. He's gotten better at that, was known for flags. He's massive. He's a press corner. And if you're telling me right now that I can get him for a day 3 pick, which I don't think you're going to get him for, I would entertain it. I would much rather Dallas, though, hold on to the limited ammo that they have and wait till the trade deadline. Reason being is when the teams that they know are out of it are going to start moving assets away. That is where the teams like the Eagles, the Rams, and all the other real contenders are going to do their shopping. I want a big fish. I want to get this team over the hump. And that happens not just right now, but during the season. So that being said, if you can't get a guy like Matt Crosby and stuff right now, don't be wasting your capital on a bunch of guys who are probably going to be working at Costco by the end of the year anyway. Other than that, y'all have a great weekend, and go Cowboys. Please, no injuries, and fuck those Cardinals.
Hell yeah, that's Toxic Tom, man, with the delivery, man. I appreciate him for all that he's doing. Listen to him, man. He's an accountant. He's a Cowboys truther, right? And I love that, you know. Let's get it, Cowboys Nation. Let's get it. Let me go to the next caller here. Cowboys Roy from the 603. You live on the Nation. Talk to me.
Law, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great, man. Can't complain.
Hey, I just want to make this one point about the wide receiver position. If Mingo is competent at returning punts, I'd cut Turpin and save that money. I mean, we weren't great last year on punt returns, so why do we have to be great this year? Get that job to Mingo, cut Turpin. What do you think about that?
I don't know if Mingo is. Yeah, I don't think Mingo is competent that much in returns. If I'm not mistaken, that's not his strong suit. Now he can be the blocker guy, you know, hustle guy on that, but on a consistent basis, I don't think he's competent enough. Now we got 53 spots on this team. I would rather keep Turpin to this degree, because I know for sure he can be an all-pro, right? I know for sure he can be a guy that you can put on end of rounds and just run a 9. I wouldn't just cut him just to cut him for wide receiver space and sake. You get what I'm saying? Like, I can go short somewhere else on this team versus just cutting him. But I get your overall thought track on that, right? We held on CJ, who was a ace guy on the special teams.
Right.
And even though it was a part whereas he took a DB spot away, we held on to him because he was the true ace. Now, I'm looking at Kevontae Turpin similar, but Turpin gives you more output than even CJ, because at times you still got to defend the entire field, and I would rather have that. I think coaching needs to correct that. And I think that they realized that last season. Yes, Turpin is good, but he's not a Zay Flowers. The same guy that coached Zay Flowers while he was in college is here. And I think that he advocated to see Turpin out there on the field last season, and I got a chance to talk to him about that. And to make a longer story short, it never materialized, because I think that Turpin is just not a complete all-around wide receiver. So now what I'm hoping on 3rd and 12 or 3rd and long in general, Dak, don't you be looking for Turpin. You got Camden Brown. You got Flo now. You got GP and CD. Let them boys be the option. Let us not be looking for Cavante Turpin. And I think that's what we'll do.
Here's the thing, and I'm getting this point because I was listening to Brodus, and he's kind of thinking the same thing, man. He's taking up a wide receiver spot that you could use.
Yeah.
That you really could use. Or another position spot. So, I mean, he doesn't bring enough to the table is what I'm saying. That's all. He doesn't bring enough to the table to justify us being great at punt return, because if I don't believe Seattle or New England were great at punt, were the greatest, top two teams in returning punts, and they were both in the Super Bowl. And that's the objective, is to get to the Super Bowl and apply that money to other places. That money could help us go out and sign a tackle that may end up, being cut that we could use, or that money we could apply that money to a running back, because we definitely need a running back. Oh my God, we need a running back. I would cut Blue and Maffa and look to make a trade or pick up look at the waiver wire and see if we can get another running back, a real number 2 running back. And those monies could be applied to other needy positions, and that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
We don't have to be the number 1 team in returning punts.
Yeah.
We don't.
Yeah. But if you're looking to cut somebody to trim the fat, cut a Schoonmaker instead of Turpin, in my opinion.
Well, definitely. Oh yeah, that's overdue. We're overdue on that one.
Yeah. So tell Brian Broaddus, man, I get your stance on everything. If you want to cut a person that is dead weight, cut Schoonmaker. Tell him cut Schoonmaker, man. They'll make a better decision. No, be like, hey, y'all. Next time y'all hear Brian Broaddus say, no offense to you, Brian Broaddus, man. We love what you do, but man, we can cut Schoonmaker instead of Cavante Turpin, and we get there.
You talking about my boy Shalimar James? I call him Shalimar.
Why you call him Shalimar?
I call him Shalimar because on Soul Train, I don't know if you remember the show Soul Train with Don Cornelius. There was a group that used to come on there all the time called Shalimar, and he's a dancer, man. That's all I'm saying. Shamar James is a dancer.
Shamar James, man. But appreciate you, Cowboy Roy. Let me hear you say it, bro.
Hey, man, let's go Cowboys. We are the number 1 team. Let's do it. Let's do it this year. We need to do it. We need to do it this year.
Appreciate you, man. Come on with it, man. That's Cowboys Roy. My thoughts. That's just my thoughts right there. It is not to take away his points and his precisions of what he's saying. But the notion to get rid of my guy Cavante Turpin, we all get mad at him, right? We all get upset at him not being able to see and run into the back of players, right? But you can resolve most of the things that you do with Cavante Turpin just through play calling. Don't put him on a hitch. Don't stop his feet. Get him on a drag underneath. Put him on smokes, tunnel screens. Get him the ball out in space. Put him on some end arounds. Make him gadgety guy. And I know most players don't like that gadget word, but damn it, that's what he is. And he got to know that at this point. He shouldn't be out here saying, man, I see myself as a number 1 wide receiver. Yeah. That's what they got to do to him. Yeah. And they get back there and catch that punt return now. And get back there and do this end around. Be a decoy. You are ancillary. You are for other guys to get open. Yeah, so that's how you do with Cavante Turpin, man. And shout out to Brian Broaddus. And I can tell the way he thinks can sway the Cowboys community on a lot of things. And I think there's like a 10th commandment, thou shalt not go against Brian Broaddus, right? And I get that. The people at the station, they kind of crumbles when he talks. He's on the show with my guy Voch Lombardi. They rarely go up against each other. They kind of agree to most of their points, and that's cool, right? But Brian Broaddus is a reason why he's podcasting, right? It's not like he's in the general manager seat, right? And I'm not taking no shots at GB. I mean BB. I'm not taking no shots at BB. But let's pump the brakes on a lot of those takes, man. And just for what it is. Law is special team fault. Yeah, special team coach fault. And there's a lot of things too. Sorensen is a sore. Sorensen is a very sore at coaching special teams. My brother hit me up and said, "Oh, Law, y'all got Nick Sorensen. And he's going to tear that damn special teams down." And what saves Sorensen is you got Brian Anger, who's a damn good punt kicker, and then you got Butter. Brandon Aubrey is going to kick it and make special teams look good. But we're not doing anything special on special teams. And that was already given if you look up Sorensen's resume, right? So it is for what it is at this point when we bring up those topic matters, man. Just like, man, people think that we had this loaded team all these years. Just like this guy right here. And I got to bring in this Eagle guy because it's always funny just listening to this guy, man. Yeah. Here you go right here, boom.
Always say with Dak, well, he's had no run game in the playoffs after Ezekiel Elliott. Let me take you down memory lane real quick.
These are how people
I'm not
see these
hearing that. You see Jalen Hurts in the 22 Super Bowl against the Chiefs. What happened? He had no run game. They had 45 yards. Not Hurts. I'm not including Hurts. He had 70 himself. No, Miles Sanders, Kenny Gainwell, Boston Scott had a combined 45 yards rushing in the Super Bowl. Did that stop Jalen Hurts from dropping 35 points and being a James Bradbury holding call from knocking off the Chiefs? I mean, they were so scared of the Eagles' offense that they rushed the clock. They let the clock run out because they knew if we give Jalen Hurts the ball last, it's over. It's over. And that's why they did that. And James Bradbury, his holding call is the reason why I'm going to keep going on and on and on. But that is another thing to talk about. The reason why this matters is because one of the times Dak Prescott got severely outplayed was against the 49ers in 2023. And Dak Prescott had an abysmal quarterback rating. He had less than 70 passer rating. And they always say, well, he had no support from his run game. He had more rushing yards with his guys.
This boy right here, boy, you can tell he never played ball. And I'm not trying to take his take away. You can just do a quick Google search and look up the 2 times that the Super Bowl champs of the Eagles won the Super Bowl. Where were they ranked at in rushing? Where were they ranked at in rushing? Let me just hint this to you guys. They were a top 3 in rushing the 2 times that they did win. And the year that they went to the Super Bowl to ultimately lose to the Cowboy fan Pat Mahomes, they were still top 5 in rushing. My thing is, and they were running back by committee that year. And on top of that, their offensive line throughout the course of the last decade been a top-tier offensive line. Not by Glazers, because a lot of people glaze our offensive line, and we have been battered and bruised. The last time our offensive line was healthy, a complete season, was 2015. You can look it up. Either we had injuries here. We had one guy to get as small as me. You know what I'm saying? And Travis Frederick, dog, I love Travis Frederick. We got as small as me over here, right? And he still had the beard, But may he continue to secure and rest up and do his things. And, we all know the story with Tyron Smith. But the playoff games that we did lose in those playoff games, Ezekiel Elijah Elliott averaged less than, let me just say this, 2.1 yards per total. 2.1. So I get it. Lost so many excuses for Dak is crazy. I get it. Let me ask you this. Who else showed up in those stretches of games that we lost in the postseason? Who else showed up? We couldn't lean on the run game. And I got to tell the Eagle fans to learn to know how football works. When people say, well, Jalen Hurts in the last Super Bowl, he's MVP, man, he was throwing the ball everywhere. Teams were loading the box to stop Saquon Barkley. It was a pick your poison. They would rather to have it being that Jalen Hurts throw the ball to beat them versus Saquon Barkley running the ball all over the field. So when we start talking football, light boxes, one-on-ones to the outside, we didn't have that liberty. In every postseason game, there were teams looking at the Cowboys saying, we are more of fear of the quarterback than the damn running game. So what you do to combat against that, you drop 7 into coverage. You drop multitudes of guys in coverage, and you dare the Cowboys to run the ball. And even with a light box with only rushing 4, we can only get 2 to 3 yards or less. So when teams played against the Eagles, you had to worry about the run game. You had to worry about the pass game because of the fact that if you go with a loaded box, it's going to leave you one-on-one to the outside. Where's A.J. Brown can eat, where's Smitty can eat, and to a point that even when you bracket cover those two, some ancillary guy in the middle of the field. So these are not excuses. These are actual factual information. That the time that you guys were able to win, you had a top 5 defense and a top 5 offense because of that. Whereas the Cowboys, yes, you can say, well, the defense were pretty much stopping this and that. When teams decided to run on the Cowboys, what did they do? What did they do, ladies and gentlemen? What did they do? So at the end of the day, he says, Law, your defense showed up with 19. Y'all go back to that one game. 19 points. How many forced turnovers were forced? We can talk about the defense. Here's the craziest thing. And pardon me, I'm glad that we got the Eagles people here now. Here's the thing that everybody goes back to. They said, well, the defense played well enough to win. Whereas you look at all of the other successful teams in the postseason games, they are forcing turnovers. They are taking the ball away at will. On top of that, in the last 10 years, the Cowboys have forced less than 7 turnovers in the postseason. Let me write this down. Write this down. Matter of fact, less than 5. Let me give y'all the number. The number is 3 turnovers. You're not going to win postseason games with forcing only 3 turnovers in 10 years. That's not going to happen. And on top of that, when you say, okay, well, the team held the team to the 19 points. Yeah, that's good. But it takes more than holding the team to 19 points. It takes your other players on the offensive side to show up as well. The last time in 10 seasons of the postseason, our running back only hit 120 yards one time, and that was against the Seattle Seahawks. We won that game. I'm talking about on the ground. So when it takes all of that, Cowboys, y'all got to stop looking into the aspect of saying, yes, Dak Prescott, he's 2-5 in the postseason. But who else stood up? Because I'm old enough to remember, if you go back to Roger Staubach in his days, you can't find me in a game where Roger Staubach, it was just him. When you go back to the days, and you can challenge me and you can try to pull it up as much as possible, but we didn't have a Doomsday here. And we didn't have a Tony Dorsett. And we didn't have a damn guy. If he had Noah Brown hands, he wouldn't have caught the hell in a Mary, right? It would have just been a play that he heaved the ball And damn, he couldn't catch it. Therefore, the Minnesota Vikings beat the Cowboys. That's what it would have been. And if you go back into the 90s, and I have to bring this home to you all, the situation that those teams, Emmitt Smith still holds the record to this day of playoff touchdowns with 19. That means Troy wasn't winning those games by himself. And Eagles Drew, respectfully to say this to you, there's always a situation where you can go where you celebrate it and not tolerate it. Because therefore, at the end of the day, regardless of the excuses that you say that I have for Rayne Dakota Prescott, I was sacking this right by saying, well, what's your excuses? If you have the better quarterback and you have the better team in the last 30 years, 30 seasons, what's your excuse for not surpassing the Washington team? What's your excuse for not surpassing the Giants? And what's your excuse for not being better than the Dallas Cowboys in that length of time? So on the other end, you are in training sessions and you may be as old and gray, but you listen to your father now. Your daddy is talking to you. Because at the end of the day, y'all are still looking up and y'all still wanting to be where we are at. By us having a casual conversation about our team in preseason, heading in to play the cards, you are at a place where you don't even belong. But it goes to show you that at the end of the day, your eyes may shine and your beak may blink here and there. You still fly under the star, baby. You still fly up under the star. And the 5-time champions that you say that you are, can you put down that you are a 5-time Super Bowl champ? I ain't talking about when you won a ring, when my people that look like me were singing songs, "We Shall Overcome." I'm not trying to say that when you won a ring, when it was only 5 or 6 teams. I'm talking about since the Cowboys been on the scene. Do you have more than us? The answer to that is no. Bryce says 2 in 93 years. So what's your excuse? He says check the record. I don't have to check the record when I already know since 1960 that the Eagles still looking up to us. Since 1960, the Eagles still wish that they accumulate more value than us. Since 1960, the Eagles fans wish that their city and state will be as close as us. Come on, baby. So all I can say is that even when you think about it, can you pull up that document and do it say Super Bowl with an S-U-P-E-R, or do it just say championship? Because I know for sure if I was playing with less talent and there wasn't 32 teams, and if there wasn't 30 teams at least, that I know for sure the accountings of the records would say that even if you want to use that paper mache argument, that you have 8 Super Bowls or 15 or 20, and it's not Super Bowls, it's just championships before we arrive to the scene, meaning that you're still looking up to this situation. But that's okay, because if you all are thinking that you guys are good, I got you and your lady thinking the same thing. What she said, we're looking great, let's pull in it.
We're looking great.
And to that degree, there's nobody with more influence power. There's nobody that got a bigger following than this guy right here.
We answered, I talked stuff, I thought we had it, but it goes to show you who's a better team, and I'm sticking Cowboys.
You're crying.
You're crying.
That's the leader of the Eagles community.
I love my Eagles. I don't believe it.
You're gonna clap the hat.
You gonna clap the hat one more time for your boy?
Let's go, birds fly, Eagles fly. Still Super Bowl champs for now.
Yeah, that's your leader. So you better adhere to your leader. You better bow down to your leader when he say, the Cowboys, they're a better team. So at the end of the day,
Stop crying!
So in closing, Drew, and all of the Eagles, they're dropping your bird droppings over here. Go where you're celebrated and not tolerated. And when the father of the NFC Ace is talking, hush your mouth and listen.
Stop crying about what went wrong.
Yes, indeed. And as old and gray as you are, keep in mind, I am your father. In departing, leaving behind me the footprints and the sands of time. What is time? What is the moments? Here, the off season is the moment. The off season of where we develop our likeness of blood, sweat, and tears, of working together to achieve something that we haven't achieved in the last 31 years. It starts now. And if there's one thing a man should always do, is mainly to himself stay true. Never allow someone to change your point of view, unless what they mean or bring makes sense to you. Never judge a man by sight alone, nor by the height he has grown. And when speaking, keep it at a moderate tone. Raise voices only, turn those hearts into stone. You see in the beginning, your brother, our robber, brother, roll with brothers. The morals of life, live, love, and respect for another. Then there are those who will try to be smart. They would take the decent man to alter his heart, to seek to rip him apart. Those man you should never call a friend or a fan, because they bend the lies around the truth. To me, their end. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Tell him.
Run it all. I wake up.
Come on, baby.
Yeah.
Now it's time.
I wake up, flex on down that check. No drip this. Tell him run it all. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch.
It is. Come on, baby. Come on.
No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I
stretch. Shout out to you, Brandon. Shout out to you, Dallas Cowboys for life. Oh, Sheila. Shout out to you, Swayze, DP. Appreciate you, Toxic Tom. Where we at?
I'm number one up on that court. I'm Nick McGrady.
Yeah.
The first one in, the last one out. Can't call me lazy.
Come on.
Put in my hours, send the invoice, and they pay me. I need 6 rings like MJ.
Come on, baby. We need 6 of them. In the chat, we on a pathway to 6. I don't know about you all, but other people that's in this room of the NFC East, let me know who's on the pathway to 6. Now, our pathway to 1 was pretty good. Our pathway to 2 was pretty good. Come on.
I call up Nigeria, come through in a
that pathway to 3 was pretty good. That pathway to 4 and 5 was pretty good. It's just that pathway to 6. It takes a long time, baby.
Made some bad decisions that brought my mama pain.
Not mine.
I made a promise to her, swore that I would change.
All right, so Trasher says the Eagles on the pathway to 3. Boy, we went down that road before. See, they can't talk to us because they on a whole different lane. Eagle fans, if you're watching, just let us know when you get to at least 5.
No drip.
Yeah, that pathway to 6 is a long, rough, and rugged road, man.
Might crash, might wreck, but first I
stretch.
Time to run it on.
Who can do it like me? Who can give you what you need? Who can do you all night long? Nobody, baby.
Until next time, DC for life. Enjoy your Friday. Let's get it. It's 3:30.